Good afternoon and welcome back to On the Spot Motorsports Media. I'm your host, Mitchell Gunter, right along with Robert Simpson. And tonight we have Josh Haming joining us. He is the IHRA Technical Director. So if you're a racer joining in, you want to ask a couple of questions, he may be able to provide those with you tonight. If not, I guarantee you he will give you the information that you need to contact him after the show in the next couple of days and get a reply to your answers. But before we get into all of that, we've got a couple of commercials we like to run. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Reliability to drive thousands of miles. Confidence for those who fly high. Redline oil products give you the power to crush the competition. And a track record of being the best. Redline oil products. You push it to the limit, we'll protect it.
Ready to take your engine to the next level? Scorpion Racing Products delivers precision-engineered, high-performance rocker arms that dominate the track. 100% CNC machined in the USA with aerospace-grade aluminum for unmatched strength and durability. Our rocker arms handle extreme conditions with multiple ratios available to fit your needs. Backed by our exclusive lifetime warranty. When performance matters, choose Scorpion Racing Products. Proven, reliable, unstoppable.
With more than 30 years of engine and drivetrain experience, Big Stuff is your one-stop total power management solution. Whether you're controlling a 600 horsepower street car and want the best drivability, or have a 6,000 horsepower race car, need the most bulletproof, reliable control hardware, Big Stuff can do it all. All of our components are designed and manufactured right here in the USA, including our computers, wiring harnesses, touchscreen displays, and more. Nothing is built offshore, and we take pride in being one of the only automotive aftermarket manufacturers that can say this. Learn more at bigstuff3efi.com or connect with us on Facebook and Instagram for more information.
Josh, I want to thank you for joining us tonight and kind of dig in a little bit to the IHRA side of things. I know y'all have been hard at it, working to getting things all lined up. You've got your schedule finalized and the big Triple Crown events that are coming up as well in your schedule, which gives a lot of racers opportunity to win some big money.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Yeah, we've been hard at it, trying to get ready for this season, trying to get all our ducks in a row and all that. So it's going to be here before we know it. So looking forward to it.
Boy, that's an understatement. Josh, thank you for coming on. Your schedule has been crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, we were going back and forth, Josh and us trying to work out something that worked with him, so thank you for coming on. But Josh, I tell you, tell us how in the world you got your start. I mean, because, not just everybody steps into head tech director with the Racing Association, but how in the world did you get your start?
Well, it goes back to basically college. I went to school at the University of Northwestern Ohio, got an associate's degree in high performance motorsports. When I was there, I decided ultimately at that time I wanted to go work on a drag race team, a nitro team of some sort. I had some friends that graduated a little bit before me that went to work for teams, and I, so when I graduated, that's what I did. And, I spent 2 years working on nitro funny cars, worked for Cruz Pedregon and Del Worsham. So, after I was done doing that, I ended up moving to Kansas City to go to work at ProCharger. So, I worked at ProCharger for like 5 years as a tech, representative.
Right.
Went to races and shows and did tech support on the phone and all that kind of stuff. Had a really good time doing that. But then the housing crash or recession of 2008, 2009 happened, and they let a few people go, and unfortunately I was one of them. So I decided, jumped in and went to and started my own business. I was a Matco Tools distributor for 9 years, or almost 9 years. So I've got a little bit of background on running my own business and being the one and only employee of, running a tool truck. But so eventually I just decided I wanted to get back into the performance aftermarket. So being in Kansas City, there's several high performance companies here, manufacturers, obviously Pro Charger, but then there's Aeromotive and Weld Racing Wheels. So went to work at Weld, worked there for 5 years. But so I've got experience on the manufacturing side. I've got experience. I worked part time at KCIR, the drag strip here that it ended up closing in 2011. But I worked there from 05 through 11, and just part time. Kind of there whenever they needed extra help for big events or whatnot. I wasn't like a regular out there all the time, but I was around to help. My wife worked there a lot more than I did, so she's in the industry too. But so that's where I got a little bit of experience running a racetrack and running races and stuff like that. And back in 2020, it was 2019. Rob Park approached me about coming to help. He wanted to hire me full time for Division 5 in IHRA. But we couldn't make the money work, so he conned my wife and I both to come help him part-time, just do event staff for the divisionals and regionals and stuff here in Division 5. So I did that for a couple of years, and then got the opportunity to go full-time with NHRA. Worked in the tech department, and I did tech for Top Fuel for a little over 3 years, 3.5 years, something like that. So got some background on the big show side of things, and an opportunity came with IHRA. So just kind of moving up the ladder gradually.
Gee whiz! So you're literally have been involved in everything from a business standpoint, from working at the track standpoint, so the racers' needs and everything like that, to the manufacturing standpoint from Pro Charger, Weld, working on a fuel team. Mm-hmm. Then teching side and working with the D5 with the division, helping there, so you get to see other aspects of how the business runs. Boy, I tell you what, you have had a lot of experience.
Yep.
Oh my goodness! In a short period of time, I say short period, but you know what I mean. In a relatively short period of time, you've covered quite a bit.
Nice resume.
Oh, that's a wonderful resume. So here's a question concerning IHRA. Top Fuel Funny Car and the professional teams. I take it that the rules are mirroring NHRA, that there's really no rules difference, or is there a rule difference between the two?
There really isn't. I mean, we want to keep the teams we don't want to change rules or have different rules to where it makes them choose one side or the other. We want them to be able to go run with the NHRA if they want to, mm-hmm. or those guys come over and run with us if they want to. So, and that's kind of that's the structure with all of our classes, really. We want to try to keep them as linear as possible, so that they, we're just offering options for racers. We're just another option out there for them.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, because, you talk about some of those teams that like to run on both sides. And I mean, you got Sean Reed, you got Lex June, you got Dale Worsham, he ran Funny Car, and it attracts them that they don't have to go through a whole lot of changes on the car. They can keep it simple. And plus, when they come over to y'all, everything is 8th mile, correctly? Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, during our Outlaw for this season, our Outlaw Nitro Series of races, basically our national event, all the pro teams, or all the pro classes, minus the new pro stock class, will run 8th mile only. Okay. All of our sportsman classes will run 1/4 mile if the track allows it. So like when we go to Galat, everybody be 8th mile.
Of course, of
Okay.
course.
But pretty much everywhere else, the sportsman cars will run a quarter mile. When we get to the Triple Crown races, everybody still runs their respective distance except for Top Fuel and Funny Car. They're going to go 1,000 foot.
Right. Yes.
So,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Which I know it's very attractive for some of those Top Fuel teams, either Funny Car and Funny Car as well, those nitro categories. They can come over there and basically pretty much just run 8th mile. And that saves them a lot of money on parts because majority of the times, detonation issues and dropping cylinders and all that stuff actually happens after the 8th mile.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very beneficial to them to save money. It makes a lot of sense to them, and it keeps them sharp if they are jumping back and forth from weekend to weekend to NHRA and IHRA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Because 8th mile, they got to get things done quicker, obviously, than they do. Even though they're really, really flying by the 8th mile mark. I mean, they got a little over 300 foot to try to make up something if they go to 1,000 foot. So, yeah, it puts that even more of a challenge into it. So that's the good thing. That's good. Now, on the professional side, you've answered that question as far as everything's going to mirror. Now, something I do really like that y'all have done, and I'm sure everybody feels the same, is IHRA has now, the Pro Stock is what was once the factory stock shootout cars. Okay, as far as classifications, and you ran them last year. Okay, in the series, and this year you're running the exact same series, exact same cars, except you're calling them Pro Stock. And I have had a lot of people respond and say that this is, even just by name alone, that this is a great move. How do you feel about it?
No, I think it's it's a step in the right direction. I mean, it kind of, in a way, it gets back to the roots of Pro Stock from when it first started. It's a factory car off the showroom floor, and they went out and modified it and then raced it. It's
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now also speaking of IHRA Pro Stock. Okay, now I take it once again, as far as any factoring that might occur in the future will once again mirror between the associations, I'm assuming.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay. Now, obviously, if there's one particular car, one particular person only that shines, that you might look at that particular deal versus
Yeah.
But I know you'll address each thing individually, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we'll start out pretty much, mirroring the rules from the other side, and then if we need to make parity adjustments or whatnot, we'll do it on our side, just to because not everybody is going to run both series, so we might have a car that only races with us that runs fast, or vice versa. So we might have to try to keep them in check or whatnot, but yeah, so it's in a way, there's only really two things changing about the class, and that's the name, and we're treating them more like a pro class with higher payouts and that kind of thing. So those are really the only differences.
Yeah, I mean, NHRA's actually, talked about doing the same thing, a couple of years ago, about switching up, bringing factory stock vehicles in, making that the new Pro Stock, and maybe what Pro Stock is now, make a separate class for them. But yeah, that's the way the Pro Stock was factory hot rods, and that has kind of gone away for over years now.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have you have to look back probably to the 80s to probably really get that factory.
Actually, late 70s, early 80s, but you're absolutely right what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it is good to see that y'all are doing that.
Absolutely. Now, tell me something, because we have not been to an IHRA event yet. The teching process, is the teching basically you fill out your tech card online and register, then are spot checks at the track, or is there tech lines you go through?
So there is tech lines. Basically, we've got a brand new website that's coming within days. So we don't. Basically, you will have to pre-register to be able to come to a race. Um, Eventually, it will have an online tech card. I'm not sure how quickly that's going to happen with the new website, but we do plan on having a online tech card, and you'll have uh, basically a garage in your profile to where you can have all your cars, all the tech cards that are attached to that car, and that kind of thing. But um, you know, in the time being, we probably will have paper tech cards that you get when you register or when you get to the racetrack, and go through registration, get all your wristbands and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, we do traditional tech. All the sportsman cars will come down to the tech trailer down by the scales. Um, we've got a great team of tech guys that'll work with them and get you teched in. The pro classes, we do house calls for tech.
Okay.
So
That,
all of
that
those,
remains.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we don't need to have, none of the pro classes need to come to us. We'll come to them. We get calls all the time, or they're like, well, we haven't seen anybody yet. Trust me, we're working on it. We're getting
We're
to
getting
you.
there. We're
Yeah,
getting there.
yeah. There's 35 of you. It takes a little bit of time to get to all of you, but yeah. So we've got tech specialists for pretty much all the classes. So yeah,
Okay.
that's about how it goes.
Okay, so that answers my question. Sportsman cars will still take their cars up the tech lane to the tech trailer or wherever you designate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're still going to do the checks, not only the spot checks with visual safety and anything that they need to do, classification, clarification, I should say. But tell me something. Whether it be professional or sportsman, I'm sure I've heard this or read this, but I cannot remember. Chassis certification. If your chassis requires that, okay, is IHRA have their own sticker now?
We do
Or
have our own sticker. We will honor any current sticker that's you might already have.
right,
So we'll honor those stickers, and we can do. It's I'm working through building a group of chassis inspectors around the country.
right,
So we've got a limited number right now. Always working to get more, but we can do chassis certifications at the racetrack too, at
okay.
our Nitro Series events.
Hmm.
So we always have at least one, sometimes two or three guys that can certify chassis.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah, because that'll definitely help. Because I had somebody ask me that. It's like going, they have a super gas style car that's NHRA certified and they want to run an IHRA event. And we
mhm,
spoke before to Josh or somebody else concerning the licensing
mhm,
situation at the time. But the
mhm,
chassis certifications, I failed to ask that.
yeah,
So definitely wanted to ask it. Now,
yeah,
okay, you might not have this answer, and I'm going to ask it's on the sportsman side, okay? And I'll put you on the. I say I put you on the spot. I say that jokingly, okay? And I'm not going to hold you to it. For example, sportsman racing, stock and super stock is what I absolutely love, but I love all racing. Okay, if cars are heads up, same classification cars. So the rule is heads up, first one to the finish line. Obviously,
mhm,
go across the scale and have fuel check.
mhm,
Correct?
yep,
Okay, and then any visual spot checks y'all want to do, so that rule still
yep,
remains.
oh
Okay,
yeah,
so
yep,
so it's not dial in only, no heads up. There is heads up if they're same classification
yep,
cars.
yep,
Okay, and they're
Don't
still
pass
gonna
the scales.
yeah, do not pass the
yeah,
scales. We've
no,
we've seen enough of that turmoil, and
yeah,
it's still going off of a sportsman ladder, correct?
correct,
As far as qualifying.
yep,
Okay, so that's really really good to see. Now, uh, since y'all have made the phenomenal purchase of Maple Grove, amongst other things, now to say IHRA is not growing and it is an understatement. They're just phenomenal. But since buying Maple Grove, and thank goodness that y'all are still including the Dutch Classic,
mhm,
which that is a very very famous, very popular event, especially for sportsman racers up in the Northeast. Okay, now at this year, are y'all thinking about conducting it the same way? Meaning, class eliminations, heads up, stock and super stock, and they get an award if they win their class, and then go on to regular eliminations, but still have a special heads up part.
There has been talks about that, and I'm pretty sure we are planning on doing class eliminations there. So
good. I hope you do.
The structure of the event, I don't think is going to change much.
Okay, that's good, because I know when more information like that comes out, it might seem small in the big picture, obviously, but it's very, very important to sportsman racers, because I know a couple of them that are going to be there. Period. They're, that's their home race, and they want to be there. Concerning that, so that makes it good. That makes it really, really exciting. So I'm really happy to hear about that. That alone, but I tell you, and like we just talked about, IHRA's growth has been phenomenal over the past year and a half, 2 years. And with the announcements that you made at the PRI show, with the purchase of Maple Grove, and then after that, the announcements of the purchase of Kansas City? No, Topeka, and also Memphis. That is great. Now, we've all heard rumors about potentially other tracks, but there's nothing known just yet, correct?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, because I've heard everything from 8th mile tracks to dirt tracks to to quarter mile. I hear all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, and I don't know when it's going to stop.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Well, I know that. I'm sure that's been a question people has asked. Is honestly, is this sustainable? But there has to be a business plan, correct, for all this?
I think it's in Daryl's head, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, I got you.
He's kind of a spur of the moment type of guy, so you never know what he's got cooking in his head. So,
I got a question for you. This might be pretty simple for you to answer. This is Tim Barrett. He wanted to know.
Yep.
Let's see. Will IHRA down the road have national records, especially for stock eliminator and super stock?
Yeah, I think so. I don't, you never say never. We might, that's something we need to talk about, but
right.
I don't even see where it couldn't happen this year. But yeah, certainly.
Well, that goes to the next thing. In past, I don't know what IHRA called the Sportsman Series. I think they were called Pro Am at one time or something like that, whereas NHRA is the Lucas Oil Series is the Sportsman Series. So I take it that NHRA is moving towards doing that in the future on the sportsman side in general, like having it in divisions. And so is that something that they're looking at doing?
As far as having divisions and such
having divisional meets like you covered in Division 5, you had divisional meets. So the same thing in IHRA.
It's been talked about. I mean, we do have what we call our Sportsman Series, which is our bracket series, at the member track level.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have a group of people. We've got 5 or 6 division directors that work with the tracks on their bracket programs and such. But we kind of wanted to do a divisional program this year, but with so much going on, it got put on the back burner. So
True.
It might be something we'd love to do it in the future. That's for sure.
Well, you see, that's a fair answer. I mean, it's not ready just yet.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's still plenty of opportunity for sportsman racers to come out and support IHRA at the national events. Now, can they? Well, since there's no divisionals, you don't have to worry about grading points.
Yeah.
You just register now. Is there a limitation per classes as far as a cap?
We don't have right now. We're not going to have class quotas. So, and I might be letting the cat out of the bag here, but it's going to be posted within the next day or so. But what we're planning on doing. So Thursday we start with the sportsman cars, right?
Okay.
So we run from hot rod all the way up to top dragster, top sportsman on Thursdays. Top dragster, top sportsman will do 3 qualifiers on Thursday, top 32 cars, just like normal.
Right.
And then they'll go into eliminations Friday morning.
Okay.
The other classes, the .90 classes and stock super stock, what we're going to do is you're going to qualify on a ladder, or not on a ladder, but you're going to qualify based on the index, stock super stock, however far under they go, or the .90s, whoever's closest to the index, without going too fast.
Right.
Top 64 cars will qualify.
Top 64
with 2 hits. Okay. And then first round will be Thursday night.
Oh,
we got to get down to 32 cars or less in every class for Friday morning.
Okay, I see the reasoning there.
Yeah. So since we're trying to finish the race Saturday night with as many classes as we got and as many cars as we anticipate having, every class has got to have 32 or less by Friday morning.
Okay. So that makes sense. Even, I think you'll get above 64 cars on average. You know what I mean? Especially all the super limiters, but stock and super stock, I definitely see getting above that no problem. So that would now put the performance back into it, which is great.
I'll tell you, one of the classes that I like y'all have is the hot rod class, where if you're not the fastest car out there in the world, you're able to still compete in a national event and dial in a number just like your bracket racing. So you're bringing in the grassroots of sportsman racing, where most people got their start, and letting them be part of the big show. I think that's really awesome, and that's really going to help grow the IHRA to become bigger as y'all move forward, probably back to where it used to be, years and years ago.
Oh yeah. But I believe the hot rod is a 1090 class, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. But Mitchell's absolutely right. The fact that you're allowing them in at all the events, which I think that's a great addition. Darren, we see that, and we're all for pure stock. I just I don't know if they're ready to deal with that question just yet. But Darren's got some really, really good cars, and he really does. He's got quite a variety, so he's a welcome addition to IHRA. Oh my goodness, he got a ton of cars.
Yeah, I got another gentleman asking about would there be a possibility of pro stock motorcycle, being able to race later on down the road. I know those are questions that you probably can't answer right now.
Well, no, I mean, it's just like I said earlier, never say never, but right now we've got so many classes already, and we've got 2 motorcycle classes. So, with the Nitro Harleys, and then
that's right.
we got the Top Fuel motorcycle also.
That's right.
Right now probably not, but you never know what might change in the future.
Right. You got
those 2 classes is a nice blend to add to the event. I mean, it really is.
Oh yeah. But you got your hands full right now.
Who doesn't want to go sit down in the stands and watch Larry McBride?
Right. Exactly.
I know, right? That is some crazy stuff, man.
Yep.
I love watching Top Fuel motorcycle, amongst other things, because there's some there's a whole lot of involved with that with me.
You have to wear a flak jacket when you ride those things.
Yeah. If you can't start it with you sitting on it,
I never thought about that.
Yeah, they don't sit on it while they're starting it. They stand off to the side.
Yeah, because I've seen them hydraulic and spit spark plugs out, and I was like going, but hence the flak jacket. So it's crazy stuff. Now, since at national events now, you're going to be doing house calls. Obviously, when you get there, you're going to be doing house calls on every class or whatever going right down the road. In your experience that you've seen, it doesn't matter the association, what's been the biggest thing you had to remind people? Is like, hey, you need to check this, or hey, you need to update that, or hey, you missed this. There's got to be something, either holes in the gloves, fingers missing on the gloves, what I mean? It just got to be something.
You don't see that too much often.
I'm just picking,
Right. Oh, I know. I mean, you'll see it in the sportsman classes for sure.
Yeah.
The pros, not so much. But I don't know. You just got to pay attention. A lot of it's just certification dates. They don't pay as close of attention to that stuff as they probably should. And so we just got to stay on them and remind them if they've got something that's going out of date or close to, or is out of date.
Right.
Right.
And I think the number two things that drivers forget the most about being in date, number one is their belt, number two is their helmet.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the two things that they mostly forget the most.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I know it's hard because everything's got a different time period behind it. So it's hard to keep everything straight. Is this a 1 year item? Is this a 5 year item, or a whatever? So it's just that's why we're here, is to remind everybody of what the rules are.
Try to help streamline it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's something that's always been a pet peeve of mine. Helmets. I'm just picking numbers here. Helmets 5 year cycles, belts 2 year cycles, transmission shield, whatever 1 year cycle. And I'm like going. You go into a dirt car or a NASCAR or something, and it can have something that's certification much longer, the exact same equipment, but a car that's put in a garage every time it's not raced, you're telling me that one is, more susceptible.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said, that's pet peeve. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything, But I tell you, what's been the hardest thing for you whenever you started doing the main tech with NHRA and now IHRA? What's been the hardest thing or most challenging thing that you've had to do or learn or remember or you've had to face? Or is there such a thing?
I mean, there's so many different things, and it's different every single day.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a new challenge. So I guess now, in my role now, I've got to deal with 20 classes, or more than that if you count the sportsman side of things, the bracket race stuff. Whereas before I was concentrated, at the racetrack, I was concentrated on one class, and behind the scenes I was involved with 4 or 5 other ones. But it's that's probably been the biggest challenge with this role is just dealing with every class.
I got you. But I tell you, just hearing what you've mentioned, the schedule, I like that. With the idea with if everything works out weather-wise, and of course everything, the goal is to be completed by Saturday, with Sunday being obviously a rain out or overflow, if need be, but potentially just a travel day for families to get back and stuff. So the event starting on Thursday, and I'm assuming you're going to start stacking people on Wednesday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or something like that.
We'll start parking on Tuesday afternoon, like right around noon. We'll start parking people on Tuesday, and tech will be being set up, but we'll for sure be doing tech all day Wednesday.
Right. I got you. Now, this comes from Joseph Strickland. He's asking about the in stock and super stock. As you're familiar, in NHRA, they have the automatic horsepower factoring system. You either love it or hate it. I'll keep my tongue to myself. Okay. But the current horsepowers that NHRA has on these cars, okay, I take it, will NH or IHRA mirror those, or will IHRA look at those in the future potentially to adjust them? And I'm just going to say where I believe NHRA has made an error, you know what I mean, to make them more realistic.
Yeah. So we do not have AHFS. And right now we don't have a set parameter as far as when we're going to actually, like if somebody goes out there and goes, 150 under or whatever it is, we don't have a number set to that to where we'll look at a combination and make adjustments. But I will tell you that we are making adjustments to some of the horsepower ratings that are out there now. Some of the historical ones that I guess have been hit a little too hard or whatnot in the past, and where racers have just parked their cars. We're trying to get those cars back out. So we're making we've made a handful of adjustments. And that stuff will likely be posted with the new website to where people will know, what
where it's at.
What adjustments we've made.
That's great. Now, who would somebody reach out to request consideration for adjustment?
Right now, probably just send us an email, info@ihra.com.
Okay.
It'll get going. It'll get to the right person to look that over. I'll tell you, we've got 3 guys that are what you could call super stock specialists, that are on the payroll. One racers have seen last year. He was working for us and doing tech for us, but there's a couple others that are kind of in the background right now that they'll see at they're very familiar faces that you'll see at the racetrack, and they're coming from being a racer, so they're not quite on all the way on the tech side of things.
I follow you.
So, but those are the guys that we've got helping out with those classes.
I like the incognito, not naming names. I like that.
Yeah.
but the fact that you said they come from the racing side, they've raced, so they're familiar with the little ins and outs of it. So it does add up. So I'm definitely going to send in a couple emails for consideration. Because I know a couple racers that. Tim being one of them, yes. You would definitely make them happy with considering their request, amongst others. Yeah, we're having Tim on in a couple weeks, so he's really going to talk about it. I talked to him today. He's looking forward to running IHRA this year. He's excited. He ran a couple events last year, and they just absolutely loved it. He and his wife just loved it. So.
I kind of want to talk a little bit about the Triple Crown. If you can kind of go over that a little bit, and if you know what the payouts are, I'm going to go ahead and flash up as we're talking. I'm going to flash up the dates of each one of those.
Yeah. The Triple Crown is basically a 3-race series, mostly all. Professional classes that they're going to get a chance to run for. Most of the classes, it's double the money that they would normally run at or earn at a Nitro Series event. Right. Top Fuel and Funny Car are actually 3 times. So Top Fuel and Funny Car, they're racing for $150,000 for each race, and then if somebody should happen to sweep all 3, then there's $1 million on the line.
That's for each payday.
Oh man!
Yeah. So, and we're kind of adding to that because the new Pro Stock class is also going to be included in that. So, it'll be Top Fuel, Funny Car, Mountain Motor Pro Stock, Pro Mod, and Pro Stock will all have a chance to run for $1 million if they sweep.
Man, I tell you what, the Mountain Motor Pro Stocks, I absolutely love it. I am so glad that from day one y'all have supported Mountain Motor Pro Stock, because that is some exciting stuff.
Yeah, those guys are really enthusiastic, and we're going to have a lot of cars, vying for 16 spots, and they only get 2 hits, so you got to make them count, and. So it'll be exciting. I mean, it was if you watched the race at Galat last fall, it was really exciting watching the bumping going on.
It was. I mean, because people literally hanging out the head of the lanes to see what the bump went to, and knowing if they're on it now, you know what I mean, and go back and put a little more pressure on each team. You know what I mean? If there was anything they could do in the lanes, then they would do it. Yeah. Just to get in. So it made it exciting for sure.
And then in June, I think the 5th through the 7th, Pro Mod's got a chance of winning, I think, $275,000 in Michigan.
Yeah, that's the total purse is around $275,000. I don't think we've put out exactly what the breakdown is, but last year it was $125,000 to win, so it's it's going to be at least that to win, and then we'll pay down a ways for that too. So yeah, that'll be a really cool race where I think we're having Pro Mod, and then the fuel alters will be there, and I think the rest of the classes we're planning on doing. Milan has a local heads up series or heads up program that they do on Friday nights. Well, that program is going to race with our Pro Mod guys.
Really?
So yeah, so we're going to show a little bit of love to the local guys with their series there.
I like that. I like that.
That's awesome.
I like the fact you're including into the tradition of that track, because their heads up series goes back a long ways. It's nothing new, that's for sure.
Yep.
And
I tell you, there's a lot of people building Pro Mod cars right now. I mean, they are, and I think a lot of it. Wes has got that winter series going on down in Bradenton, 3 races, and I mean, there's names coming out everywhere that are behind the wheel of a Pro Mod trying to make the field. And I think with that helping, and you got PDRA, some of those drivers might want to bring their Pro Mods over along with those who run in NHRA. They're going to make a really great event, and like you said, across the board, that's a lot of money.
It is. So
it is.
Yeah, we're hoping to make them a big deal.
And you're right, and you're putting them on a platform with good pay, but promoting them with the live streaming and just having the whole series. And it also goes to show what you're doing with the Hemi shootouts. Okay, we follow the Hemi shootouts, the super stock Hemi shootouts with the 68 Hemi cars, and the fact that IHRA is putting together a 4-race series in the series itself to highlight those cars, okay, with a point system and everything. That's fantastic. And so I've even had, and I told Mitchell, I've had a couple people reach out to me. It's like going, okay, well, they know where they're definitely going to be racing for 4 races instead of just once or twice a year. So they're really going to focus on it. So that's tip our hat to IHRA for that, because you're definitely going to have some really, really good support. And so that's great. So you're doing everything you can that we're seeing to provide a platform for racers.
Yeah. Billy Lawrence, he's got a question. He said, a hot rod running 8th mile. I have a stock body 74 Chevy C10, big truck, all interior, stock, no aluminum anywhere, all glass, windows, stock dash. How many roll bars do I need? I am running PDRA, and I have a 4-point passes for that. Where do y'all stand on this?
Okay, so hot rod, traditionally it's a 1090 class. I think it's I can't remember the index for 8th mile off the top of my head for some reason, but so that's typically going to be a 6-point roll bar that you're going to need at minimum to run 1090s.
Yeah, it's like 690 in the 8th mile or something like that.
I think it's
something like that. And you see, and Billy, it would if the firewall's been cut or not. If the firewall hasn't been cut and the floor, you know what I mean? If it's nothing like that, then that's another factor. And also, how fast does it run mile an hour wise?
Right. Yeah, if it's over 135.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, because you and I have all seen ones where the indexes are low, but it's got just some ridiculous mile an hour. You're like, geez Louise, where'd this come from? So, but you see, that's another great example of somebody, another opportunity somewhere to race. But now, tell me something. Do you think in the future that if the progress of the fuel cars continues to be the higher and higher speeds, I know you're primarily running 8th mile excluding the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think in the future it would ever come down to a point that it really needs to be addressed that these particular cars, the nitro cars, need to be slowed down a little bit? And if so, what kind of, now I'm not saying you're going to, but I'm saying if so, how do you think you would potentially address that to just slow them down?
Well, running to 1,000 foot, there's a few things that you can do that's not going to make a big difference, or I should say that different. It's not going to make them make wholesale changes to the car, but it will slow them down, like rev limiter changes. Um, and I mean that's the biggest thing right now is probably rev limiter. Bring it in earlier or have it pull more timing or whatever. And that's one way that they can do it. But honestly, I don't see them doing that anytime soon. The tire companies are okay with what's going on, and it seems like it's not that big of a deal right now. But I think if we see 345 or more, it might start creeping in the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't foresee that happening much on this side. Mainly because of the 8th mile, and that's kind of the beauty of what we're doing is, some of the smaller teams, they're never going to see, that kind of mile an hour. So running 8th mile is just that much better for them.
Yeah, I'm like you, Josh. I think running that 8th mile platform, except for the Triple Crown, I don't see where it would ever be an issue either. I mean, those Triple Crowns are like a special event within the season, and yeah, I think it's going to be okay. I don't think you're ever going to have that issue.
Not only that, most of the quarter-mile tracks, they have seating all the way up to the 8th mile. Okay, so that's fantastic. That's the only only style of event that you can actually be at the finish line to spectate it. Whereas obviously quarter mile, they don't have any spectator, even 1,000 foot at most places. So that's a really good addition. Yeah, I mean, now I tell you, are you excited to get back to Topeka this year?
I am. Yeah, I've kind of got not really a love-hate relationship. I really like that facility. It's just it's so big. It takes forever to get anywhere there, and especially if you're on foot, it's
it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. But thankfully, we've got scooters. But yeah, I really like that facility, and I think it'll be great to have it come back.
Yeah. Okay. I tell you what, Mitchell and I are definitely excited about IHRA. What y'all have done, what y'all have embraced. You've embraced the history and tradition while still bringing into the future here.
Well, and you're wrapping your arms around the sportsman guys. I mean, you really are. You're helping to support them as well. And of course, sportsman guys. That's where all the money comes from, is from the sportsman class racers that support the bigger performance cars to run.
Yep, for sure. Yep, everybody starts somewhere, and most of the time it's in the sportsman ranks. So
it is. It is. I tell you, I think it's great. So you're starting on teching or parking on Tuesday, teching Wednesday. Get in sportsman classes, 2 qualifying hits on Thursday, go right into first round, but you're only taking the top 64 in the sportsman cars because you got to get it down to 32 before you go into Friday, okay, because of all the classifications. So that's going to be a great opportunity for anybody spectating. You're going to be able to spectate starting Thursday, sportsman racing all the way through the professionals and everything. So that's good. I mean that's really, really good and a great opportunity for people.
Yeah.
So,
and just like we did at Galat, I think it's going to be a multi event, if you will. We're planning on having bull riding at every event.
Really?
Yeah. So like Friday night after qualifying's over, or some sportsman racing, there will be a bull riding show at every event.
I didn't see that. I know you did it at least one event. Now, will there be a Ferris wheel again?
We're working on that.
Now you see, now that's a good thing because that's a really good family atmosphere.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Now, if they could just make, which I don't know, but if they could just make the food price, more reasonable for somebody,
Right.
for a family of four, that kind of thing.
Yep.
That's just me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I had to throw that in.
Well, and I'm like y'all. I think Daryl, he's looking at the broader picture of having more entertainment. That someone, maybe if they come out there and they're not quite into the cars, he's offering something else there
Mhm.
to
Great.
try to get them hooked. And
Yep.
I think that's a great perspective of what he's doing.
Yep, for sure.
I agree. So, and like I said, we're looking forward to everything IHRA has going on between stock car, drag racing, tractor pulling, offshore power boats, drag boats. There's something else in there, I'm sure, that I'm missing. Oh, snowmobiles, and jet skis. And so I really like the idea of how they're bringing it in, and they're bringing them all to the front too. They're promoting all of them and have people of different organizations, all working together.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that, like you said, that you have like 3 people working on the sportsman tech side and the horsepower side and stuff like that, that's good to hear. That's really really good to hear, and that's reassuring to racers that you're taking this serious.
Mhm.
You're doing your best to put your best foot forward. Now, I got to ask, how many? Is it possible to know how many marketing partners IHRA has now? The list is endless, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell you. I haven't seen a list recently, but yeah, it's growing for sure.
Oh man, how can everybody get a hold of you?
The best way, is info at ihra.com.
Okay.
That's probably the best way. If it's tech related, it'll come straight to me. If it's anything else, it'll go to the appropriate person that deals with that area.
Okay.
So is it best in the subject line to start off with tech question or tech or entry or something like that?
Yeah, something like that, or even in the body. We've got a couple people that monitor that email box, so they just, when they see it come in, they just forward it to the correct person.
Okay.
So
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. How can someone become a member of IHRA?
right now, it's fairly easy. You can go to our website, ihra.com, and there's a link at the top that just says membership. You can click on that, and then it's got all the different series that we have, whether it's the stock car series or the bracket series or all that kind of stuff. Pick which one, and it'll basically take you through the process of becoming a member or getting a license. So that's going to be changing in the next week or two with the new website. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work yet, but yeah, it's fairly simple right now.
Okay. And Tim Barrett has a question. He's not trying to nail you down, but he's asking, is there any possibility of contingency in the future?
We are working on contingency stuff. There will be at least a handful of contingency partners this year, and we're working to grow that pretty rapidly. So
Okay.
There you go, Tim. Tell everybody. Tell Bobby. Tell all of them up there about it. Well, who am I kidding? I know the word pass will get around really, really quick and fast. I tell you something else. I got to compliment you. When we went to the PRI show, everybody we saw people wearing IHRA shirts, all walking around all over. I mean, it didn't matter where, standing in line to get a soda, and got talking to people. And one person's like, "Hey, I'm on the circle track side, or I'm on this side or that side." Did I freeze up?
No, you're good.
Did I freeze up?
No.
Okay, everybody else did. Okay. So, no, I was complimented that everybody that we spoke to there at IHRA was very friendly. And I even met with Rick Kaibor. Kybor. Anyway, he's the GM at Piedmont.
Oh, Rick
And
Moore.
Rick Moore. Okay,
Hmm.
okay. He scratched the last letter or whatever like that. So I just walked up to him. He was at the table and just got talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, this is what I do." I'm like, "You're kidding? You're a tech director and you're the
Yeah,
GM at Piedmont?" He goes, "Yeah."
yeah,
And,
yeah.
here's my contact, and reach out. But that's how everybody that we've met at IHRA has been. So
Hmm.
complimenting you about that because a lot of other places that's not so easy
Right.
to get a
Yeah,
hold of somebody.
we're just trying to make it a family friendly place to race and have familiar faces that is we're all happy to help. Whether it's in our expertise or not.
Right.
If we don't know the answer, we will do our best to find the answer for you, or find the person that has the right answer. So
All
There you
right.
go.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot this time.
I see what you did.
So we would like to get a hold of someone with the stock car series and bring them on and kind of walk everyone through, how that process is going. Kind of talk about, the cars and the weights and all of that good stuff. So we're going to try to, if you know who that is, uh, feel free to let us know after the podcast or the next day or so, and we'll reach out to them and get them on. We've actually had a couple of ARCA drivers on here of late, and I'd like to know where that series is headed.
yeah, for sure, I can I can get you in touch with the right person.
Good, because I got a couple, and I'll hit you up after too. I got a couple of
Yeah.
those in the other series that we would like to speak to. And I tell you, Latrell, I like what you said. That is funny. He says, "Are you guys going to let us run a mini bike series?" It is like going, "I like that. I like that." That's right up there. Well, I mean, he's probably Latrell. You're probably absolutely serious, and I'm making a little funny with it, because I'm sitting thinking that's I like that. I like that thinking, and I like the ideas like going, hey, if we have downtime, we're having a golf cart charity thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? five
Yep.
dollars, and we run to 300 foot or 200 or whatever you want to say. You
Yeah.
know
I'll
what I
tell
mean?
you what, some of those mini bikes, they're not slow.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah. We do have those golf cart races at our bracket finals and stuff. So at the team finals and the world final bracket race. So um,
Well, you
yeah.
see, that's somebody we had Luke Bagecki come on, who was
Mhm.
fortunate enough to win both top bulb and bottom bulb. So he's a world champion in both, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And he mirrored exactly what you said. He goes, "I had a great time."
Yep.
Obviously, he won. Okay,
Right.
Latrell. Okay, Latrell. I see. I see. You're serious. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said no disrespect intended. None intended.
They're pretty
And
quick, and they're getting
they
quick.
are.
It is amazing how fast some of them. We actually
They
had two
are.
of them come out to Gainesville Raceway on a test and two night, and I was totally blown away. I was like, "Holy cow!"
No,
Hmm.
that the quads and stuff like. Oh my goodness, that is
Oh yeah.
that's a crazy
Yeah.
fast stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's a guy at our local track that he's brought his mini bike out several times, and it's on a hard tire still, and runs on nitro. I mean, it's
really on
crazy.
nitro?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
I
gosh,
forget how fast it is, but it's pretty quick for a little mini bike on a hard tire. So
yeah, that's
Well, if
just
you
on the
see one,
nitro part. I'll be like, ooh, no, I don't want to play with that.
if you see one of them come out and they got a wheelie bar on them, you're quick.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, if they got full leathers and everything from head to toe, you're like going, okay, you're a little more serious.
yeah.
But something's got a wheelbase this big, and they get.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm exaggerating. I mean, some of them are stretched, but still, I'm like going, man, race anything. That's what my
Hmm.
dad told me. If man races a doggone bar stool, have you ever seen them race
Oh
those?
yeah,
Then
yep.
they'll race anything. But now tell us, Mitchell, put that schedule back up. I want to see when the first race is.
Okay. Let's see.
So
Let me
third
grab
weekend in
my
March.
spectacles here.
Is it in March?
Yeah, third weekend in March.
Okay, I couldn't remember off the top of my head. I got it written down on my calendar in there. so
Yeah,
so okay, so you're kicking your.
Nope, rolling.
yeah.
Hey,
There
that's
we go. 19th to the 21st.
Oh, okay. So that's not Galat. That is
It is.
Galat. That is
Yeah, it
Galat. I'm
is.
sorry.
Yep.
I'm trying to. I got my short eyeballs in.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're kicking it off in Galat in March. Boy, that's going to be fast. Boy, that's going to be fast.
Hmm.
But you already know that. And then look at that, going to Virginia, then down to Montgomery, back to Maple Grove, and then going. Oh, there's the Milan one you were talking about.
Yeah,
Yep.
the Puma Mania.
Yep, National Trail, back to Milan. Is that Lang? Oh, that's Empire. Okay, that's up in New York. Okay,
Yep.
and then West Salem, Ohio. Now, oh, Dragway 42. I'm sorry, I'm reading the location without reading the track name. And then, but that one right there, third from the bottom. Actually, in second from the bottom too. Going to Memphis,
Yes.
and then going to Heartland. I think your turnout at Memphis is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Boy, y'all have taken on a big project.
Well, did you see everybody who showed up for the groundbreaking? Holy cow!
Yep.
I mean, that place was packed.
Yeah, it is,
I mean, the excitement was in the air.
Yeah.
and that's just groundbreaking. Now, I'll tell you, as a tech director, do you have to go to that track early? And when I mean early, like during the year to check on the progress of certain things?
I don't necessarily, but we do have you know, some guys, especially if they're fairly close to that track, or our division directors work with our tracks. Most of these tracks, we own, so we've got representation there all the time. But there's a couple of them that we don't own, so we work with their track staff, and if we need to go there, we will, but not necessarily.
I got you. I'm just excited because that is one track I always wanted to go to, and was unfortunate that I couldn't go to it the first time before it closed. So that is one we definitely want to get to, amongst other things. Yeah.
I'm trying to save as many PTO hours as possible right now. So
Yeah.
we're supposed to go as a family down to Orlando next week to go to Universal Studios and Islands Adventure. And my wife wanted to go a whole lot earlier. She kind of wanted me to take a whole week off. And I was like, man, I can't. I says, I got to save my PTO hours. I said, racing season's coming up. And then she really got mad when I told her we had to come back Friday night because I had to get the car ready to go racing on Saturday.
Yeah, well, but that's our big problem that we're running into now is trying to work out schedules, logistics, financial, obviously, to go to so many events, because there is a lot of really good racing all over and all different kinds of series. But we definitely want to get out to enjoy the IHRA and to cover it and to see everything that y'all have to offer. So. I tell you what, Josh, thank you so much for just coming on and talking to us and actually clarifying several things for us. And thank you for people asking the questions because they're just as curious as we are about many things. And tell me something. When you graduated from school, did you ever think that you would be doing what you're doing right now?
No. I knew I wanted to be in racing or working on hot rods of some sort, but I would have never pictured I'd be where I'm at now.
Well, boy, and it's like the sky's the limit.
Yep,
is the way it's looking like. But I tell you, we encourage everybody to go out to follow IHRA, to if there's a IHRA track near you, to register and sign up with the IHRA, get your number, get your license. If it's bracket racing, get involved in the bracket racing, and then obviously if they're going to have a national event there, to go to it. Even if you can't race in it, to go to it, and if you can race in it, absolutely bring the family out, and then if you can go and race in it, go race in it. Okay, and have the excitement and share with others and stuff. That's the way that you make things better. And it sounds like, just like Josh, like you're doing, and the staff that we've talked to, they're listening. They're receptive. If they make a decision and people like going, hey, it needs to be adjusted here or adjusted there, then IHRA will listen to it. At least that we've seen, like Sportsman racing. At first it it was announced all 8th mile, but then people called and asked about it, and y'all clarified, like, oh, no, wait a minute, Sportsman's still quarter mile. These classes are 8th mile. Right. Changed everything. And y'all did it in a very, very timely manner, very helpful. So,
yeah, we're here to listen and make adjustments that seem right for the sport. It benefits everybody.
Well, maybe we can actually get Disco Dean on here and talk to him because I know he's loving what y'all are doing, and he's been promoting y'all pretty well and stuff on his social media page. And man, I would love to have him come join us one night and just see his perspective of it from his side as a racer.
Yeah,
I think it would be really great to have. Plus, he's very entertaining too.
Oh yeah,
well, I tell you, I love his energy.
Yeah, he'll wear you out. That's for sure.
But that's a good thing. It's a good thing. We like talking to people that have that energy and just enthusiasm and just passion for whatever they like, and so that's really a good thing. But Latrell, we see your different questions down there and great ideas. Not only about the mini bike racing, but RC racing and stuff like that. And there's tracks that have the space for that.
They actually been running some of those RC races, Robert. I think down here at Don Garlett's museum, I think they set up a little area down there, and they have them there.
On the side entrance coming in on that stretch,
somewhere right in there. I've seen them run a couple of times. So yeah, that's becoming a big thing.
But Latrell, really, honestly, reach out to IHRA with your ideas because it sounds like they're very receptive to different things, and that right there is good competition. That could be at a track that has the space, obviously.
Yeah,
what I mean?
And for sure. I mean, we may not have room for them at a Outlaw Nitro Series race.
Right.
But reach out to the local track level. They might, be able to accommodate something like that.
Right.
Agreed.
In their local program.
And that's a good thing. That's really a good thing. So look into that, Latrell, and let us know. Honestly, just reach back out to us and let us know because I'd be curious on how that goes forward. But I tell you, Josh, I know you've been crazy busy, and we told you we would try to allow you to get back to your business at hand. But I tell you, we encourage everybody to follow on IHRA, to follow everything that you're doing, and to keep coming back here to On the Spot Motorsports Media because we're going to keep posting information as we get from IHRA, so you'll be able to keep up to date with everything. But Josh, we wanted to tell you thank you very much for coming on tonight.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
We greatly appreciate it, and if there's anything that we can do to help, please just let us know.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was a good time, and hopefully I was able to answer some questions that were out there. And if you got any more, feel free to reach out, and we'll take care of you the best we can.
I'm sorry.
Once y'all release y'all's new your site, feel free to send us that link, and we'll post it on our page for y'all.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep, for sure.
And sorry to hit you with mainly sportsman questions, but I warned
you. No. I mean, I don't. I knew most of the. It's all the really in-depth technical stuff like stock, super stock classification stuff. I wouldn't be able to answer for you, but but all the other high level stuff is
right. Yeah, I'm just joking with you because you're absolutely right. But thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Appreciate it.
We greatly appreciate it, and we wish you and yours the best.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Josh. Have a good night,
Have
buddy.
a good night. Yep.
Take care.
Good night. Oh, man.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a little commercial break. Hey, Robert, I got a question real quick. Could you hear the audio on the commercials?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason, I can't hear it on my side. But anyway, we're going to take a little commercial break, and we'll be right back after these messages to close down the show.
Reliability to drive thousands of miles. Confidence for those who fly high. Redline oil products give you the power to crush the competition. And a track record of being the best. Redline oil products. you push it to the limit, we'll protect it.
Ready to take your engine to the next level? Scorpion Racing Products delivers precision-engineered, high-performance rocker arms that dominate the track. 100% CNC machined in the USA with aerospace-grade aluminum for unmatched strength and durability. Our rocker arms handle extreme conditions with multiple ratios available to fit your needs. Backed by our exclusive lifetime warranty. When performance matters, choose Scorpion Racing Products. Proven, reliable, unstoppable.
With more than 30 years of engine and drivetrain experience, Big Stuff is your one-stop total power management solution. Whether you're controlling a 600 horsepower street car and want the best drivability, or have a 6,000 horsepower race car, need the most foolproof, reliable control hardware, Big Stuff can do it all. All of our components are designed and manufactured right here in the USA, including our computers, wiring harnesses, touchscreen displays, and more. Nothing is built offshore, and we take pride in being one of the only automotive aftermarket manufacturers that can say this. Learn more at bigstuff3efi.com or connect with us on Facebook and Instagram for more information.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, what a great show. I really appreciate Josh coming on here and talking a little bit of technicalities on their programs, making it easy for drivers to switch back and forth between the sanctioned bodies. I think that just encourages a lot more people when they have a down weekend and they say, for instance, they want to go test some stuff. Well, they can really go test it in competition over there in the funny car and top fuel class. And I really like what they've done with the factory stock, making it the new pro stock of the IHRA.
Yes, absolutely. I
Thank
I
you,
like
Tim. Appreciate it.
Yes, Tim. Thank you very much, and thank you, Luttrell.
Yeah, Luttrell.
Please
let us know.
Please let us know. But you're absolutely right. I like the way that they're approaching it, and I was glad to hear some of the information that he shared with us, and the fact that stock and super stock. Of course, like I said, I'm sorry, low favoritism. I can't help it, but it's my favorite classes. Okay, but true for all sportsman classes. Now, something I failed to ask, and I meant to ask, and I'll reach out and get clarification, is I'm assuming that from quick rod down to hot rod, which is super comp, super gas, and super street, I'm assuming those will be 64 car fields also. Okay, that's something I got to clarify, and then typically how I've seen them do is best packages determines their qualifying field. Reaction time versus keeping within their index. You know what I mean? Best
Right.
total package. So that's a good thing. So we'll see, but I believe those classes also will be held at 64 car fields. But what I was getting at is stock and super stock. Stock and super stock being held a 64 car field, so that, and not having the horsepower factor thing in it, so that you're really going to see some people get out there and walk the dog that they normally can.
Right.
But they're holding back. They have them bracket mode, tanking at 1,000 foot, all that kind of stuff, where now they can actually let them run some. I mean, not going to have it iced down exactly like for class, but they're still going to be able to run that 1 second under pretty much at ease. Right. So there's going to be different things like that. So I'm assuming right now the indexes, let's just go off NHRA just for safety. And if they go back to the older IHRA ones, then the indexes will be a little bit softer. But, hey, I like hearing that. It'd still be kind of hard in some cases getting there on a Tuesday for some events for some people, but nevertheless, look at the purses and look at the versus entry and everything like that.
The purses are pretty amazing
for all the classes.
Yeah,
for all the classes, and they're paying back a couple, several spots. So that's a good thing. That's a plus, and the fact they're looking into having. Potentially class runoffs like at the Dutch Classic, but still, heads up is heads up. If you show up, you know what I mean. That's just how it is. I like it. I've liked the way that they're approaching it. Fuel check, scales. You got to go through that stuff. You can't bypass it, just like you said. And
Their schedule's nicely spread it out for their
right,
national events. Really nicely spread it out. I think the racers like that as well. It gives them a little time to go play in PDRA or NHRA.
right.
So I really like that.
Right,
Um,
and also then they're going to determine, because I don't know the answer to this one, is the points system. The national points system is based off all 8 of the national events.
right,
It doesn't have any drops.
right.
So I'm sure that's something that if anybody reaches out and asks, they'll probably clarify, like best of 5 out of 8. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
You know what I like to see? I would just love to see Clay Millican go over and run one of those races.
Oh yeah, I think you will. Especially, you think if the schedule allows Memphis, do you think he'll be in Memphis?
He'll be in Memphis.
He'll be in Memphis. He's going to be in
Yeah.
Memphis whether he's got a car or not. You know what I mean? I mean that's Mr. Step on the loud pedal. He'll definitely do that. And with
Yeah, if I
his,
see him at Sick Week on Saturday, I'm going to kind of ask him and see if he'll tell me on the record or off the record.
right,
Because I think that's pretty neat, and I think it's pretty neat that he's actually participating in his first drive and drag event with Jeff Lux. I think
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah. I mean, he did freeze his backside off because I saw him there. He was cold, but because it was cold, it was in the
Yeah,
20s.
I asked him. I said, "Man, why'd you bring all that Tennessee weather down here?" And he just laughed. He said, "It is cold."
Oh man, with that wind and all that stuff. Luckily, when I got there on Monday, the wind had died down.
Yeah.
That was a good thing. So
Yeah, Sunday it felt like it was 8 degrees
it
with
was.
the wind, and and also we had snow flurries.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yep. Because
Yeah, we do get them every once in a while in Florida.
I know they're in Tallahassee and then just north of me because I'm farther north than you. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, but we had a good time, and Mitchell's going back Saturday to Sick Week. My schedule won't allow me to get away this Saturday to go back down there, but we're working on lining up some people to talk to come on the podcast, talk about their event or their experience during the event. And we met quite a few wonderful people, wonderful competitors with some beautiful cars.
Yeah, we just wish we could travel that week and just travel and update and take
Well,
pictures. But
everybody out here
no regular
remember
job.
this. Everybody out there remember this. If you would like us to go and cover or participate in a drag and drive event, okay, everybody get together and chip in something to us so that it would help us be able to get to these events. I even talked about I like to go up to the Carolina ones and go do a drag and drive up.
Yeah, the mountain one. Yeah,
Well, that one too, but
Smoky.
a street meet street. There's one of them where it's a 2 or 3 day event. Devin puts it on. Devin's group. I can't remember the name of it now, but even one of those events be less time away from work. But it's still, if anybody wants to sponsor us to go, then just reach out to Mitchell or reach out to myself. Even if we go and just help cover it, okay, just reach out to us and let us know about it, and we'll see if we can't work that out. But we also want to thank the people that continued to help us, including Redline Oil. They came on again this year, Scorpion Racing Products, and new for this year, Big Stuff EFI. Okay, we ask everybody to, they work hard on helping racers, so we ask you to reach out to them and support them, encourage them, and do everything like that. And also, continue to follow us on Facebook, but our big thing is we need you to go on our YouTube page and to subscribe on our YouTube channel, our Instagram, and this is going to be on Spotify also and Kick, but our big thing is YouTube.
yeah.
We really need.
We're trying to make that threshold of 1,000 subscribers. So we are so close. I mean, we're not very far away. So if you enjoyed the podcast, you think your friends will like it, tell them about us. Follow us both on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, we live stream all the bracket events at Gainesville Raceway, and it's probably a lot nicer to watch them on your TV than it is your your laptop or your phone. But yeah, at least click over there and subscribe. And I tell you what, we've got another great show coming up Tuesday, something that we've never done before, something totally out of the ordinary.
Yep.
So, we are 90% drag racing, probably a little more, probably about 95% drag racing. But we're trying to adventure a little bit. You see, we've had 2 ARCA drivers join us. But this coming Tuesday night, we are bringing someone from the drift world.
Right.
So I'm going to let Robert talk a little bit about that before we get out.
We're bringing over Miss Melissa War. I believe I'm saying her last name correctly. No disrespect. Miss Melissa, we met, and her husband, we met at PRI, literally in the weirdest circumstances. But we met her, and we learned so much in the short conversation we had about the world of drifting. She does it on a competition side and on the West Coast, and learned so much on how they score and how they prepare the vehicles and stuff like that. It's like, I had no idea. Because what I'm accustomed to is not the professional side. I've seen a little bit on TV, but I don't know. So we get an opportunity to talk to her, and she was very, very informative on how you drive a drift vehicle, how you start out, and what you do and why. Not just you go out there and just whip it and you think that you're drifting. There's more to it. There's techniques to learn and why you learn the techniques. So we're going to learn that. So we look forward to learning more about how you drive a drift vehicle, the points, the scoring. So if you ever see it on television, you better understand it, and the associations that she's involved with. She's involved in several charities and businesses and stuff like that. It's wonderful to hear. So we're really looking forward to that next week.
Yep, it's going to be great. So, and that also that same week, the 14th and 15th, we'll be coming live from Gainesville Raceway for the Scorpion Racing Products AT Series race number 3 and number 4.
Yep, Lord willing, I get to make my debut. Yes. I've run into one problem after another. So, Lord willing, I get to make my debut. And also, we heard a rumor that the track boss is going to be there. Miss Melissa, Miss Michelle Mankey, okay, that owns and operates Alaska Dragster, Alaska Dragway?
Alaska Dragway.
Or Motorsports Park, or whatever.
It's actually a motorsports park because they got a circle track there as well. So
yeah. She's going to be down here visiting friends, and she might even come and join us running Sportsman. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But I tell you, when I get there, guys and gals, don't run over each other getting to me. Okay? Just please don't. Just have some mercy on me. Mitchell, that goes for you too. Okay?
Hey.
Just have some mercy on me.
I was good at the last race. It was the car that let me down. I was killing the tree, but the car just couldn't do its thing on the top end. So, yeah. And then I'm going to be with a challenge. I'm going to have different setup on the car. So I might be easy pickings.
No, you're going to be fine. My dad always said, he goes, boy, there's 2 ends. You got to work on one before you work on the other. And I wasn't doing one, and the other one wasn't coming around. So sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes you're a bug, sometimes you're a windshield. That whole thing. So, but like I said, we encourage everybody, come back and join us next Tuesday night. And like we said, go in there and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Continue to follow us on Facebook. And if y'all have anybody that you would suggest for us to talk to, reach out to us and put us in contact with them.
Take care, everyone. See you Tuesday night.
Have a good night, everybody.